Life often presents itself as a series of ordinary moments, a predictable rhythm of sunrises and sunsets, chores and routines. We build our homes, our sanctuaries, investing them with a sense of safety, a place where the chaos of the outside world can't touch us. But sometimes, in a terrifying instant, that illusion of security is shattered, and we are thrust into a reality where courage is forged in the heat of adrenaline, and fate feels less like a concept and more like a tangible force guiding events. These moments, often recalled years later from the quiet reflection of our later years, stand as sharp reminders of life's unpredictable performance, showcasing the hidden strength that lies dormant within us, waiting for crisis to call it forth. This is a story about a day that started like any other mundane, ordinary, a Tuesday afternoon errand run. It's a story about my wife, Susan, and a terrifying few minutes that reminded us just how fragile our sense of safety can be, and how quickly a normal day can turn into something that feels straight out of a movie script. My wife, Susan, is one of the strongest people I know. She's faced down illnesses, navigated family crises with grace, and generally been the steady rock in our lives for decades. But on this particular day, she was at her most vulnerable. Just a week prior, she'd had surgery for a hernia, a painful procedure that, combined with a broken ankle she was already recovering from the result of a clumsy fall a month before, had severely limited her mobility. On a good day, she might manage a few steps with crutches, navigating slowly from the sofa to the kitchen counter. But her strength and balance were minimal, her movements painstakingly slow. I'd estimate her mobility was about 5 out of 100. She was essentially housebound, confined mostly to the living room sofa or the bedroom, relying on me to bring her everything she needed, from a glass of water to the remote control. Our home, usually a bustling place with visits from kids and grandkids, felt quiet, almost too quiet, with Susan essentially bedridden. I had run out for groceries, a quick trip to the local Walmart, conveniently located just about 3 minutes away by car. Susan was settled on the sofa, propped up with pillows, her injured foot elevated, a book in her lap. I remember telling her I wouldn't be long, just grabbing a few essentials for dinner and a couple of things she needed from the pharmacy section. The sun was shining brightly outside. The sky was blue. Birds were singing a perfectly unremarkable, peaceful afternoon. Nothing felt out of the ordinary. I was in the produce section, comparing 2 heads of broccoli and trying to decide which one looked fresher. When my phone rang, it was Susan. Her voice was tight, high-pitched, laced with a raw, visceral fear I'd never heard before in all our years together. "Frank," she gasped, the sound of her breath ragged, strained. "Someone's trying to get in. They're banging on the back door." My blood ran cold, instantly freezing in my veins. Banging. On our back door. In the middle of the afternoon. My mind immediately pictured Susan, immobile, defenseless, just feet away from whoever was outside, separated by nothing but a standard wooden door. "What?" I stammered, dropping the heads of broccoli back into the bin with a thud I barely registered. Other shoppers nearby glanced over, startled by my sudden outburst and panicked tone. "Are you sure? Who is it? What's happening?" "I don't know." Her voice was a thin thread of terror now. Through the phone, even over the supermarket's quiet background music, I could hear it aloud, insistent pounding, followed by the sickening sound of wood splintering near the door frame. "They're trying to kick it in. Oh God, Frank, they know I'm here. The car's gone." Panic, cold and sharp as a razor, seized me, swiftly overriding the initial shock. Susan, my Susan, recovering from major surgery and a broken ankle, trapped inside, unable to move quickly, while someone was trying to smash their way into our home, into her sanctuary. The short distance between Walmart and home suddenly felt like a million miles, an insurmountable gulf separating me from her safety. "What are you doing?" I yelled into the phone, already fumbling blindly for my car keys in my pocket, abandoning the half-filled grocery cart right there in the aisle, oblivious to the stares I was attracting. "Are you hidden? Can you get to the bedroom?" I yelled, she choked out, her voice trembling uncontrollably, but with a clear, surprising flicker of something else defiance. Quick thinking. She was using her head even in abject terror. I yelled through the door. I told them I was on the phone with the cops, that they were on their way right now, and I had them on speakerphone. Brilliant, Susan, my smart, quick-thinking wife. In her state of complete physical helplessness, pinned down by pain and immobility, she'd used the only weapon she had, her voice, and a desperate, high-stakes bluff. Okay, Susan, listen to me. Stay on the phone. I was power walking through the store now, almost running, earning more startled glances. I'm leaving. I'm coming home right now. Are they still there? Is the banging continuing? The banging stopped, she said, the immediate, frantic edge softening slightly, though the fear was still thick in her voice. I could hear her ragged breathing. I think they ran. I hear something outside, like a bike, going away from the door. A bike? Running from a break in attempt on a bicycle? It seemed odd, almost comical in its inadequacy, but maybe they parked it nearby and were using it for a quick getaway. Okay. Stay on the phone. Susan, just keep talking to me. Describe what you hear. Are you safe? Is the door holding? It's bent inwards, she said, her voice still shaky. But it's closed. I think the lock held, or they just gave up. I think they're gone from the door. I hear. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a bike going down the street, away from the house. Okay. That's good. Relief, sharp and dizzying, washed over me. She was physically okay, the door had held, and the intruder was gone. But the relief was immediately replaced by a surge of pure, protective adrenaline and a fierce, burning anger. Who would do that? Try to smash their way into a house in broad daylight, and with my wife inside, so vulnerable, clearly unable to defend herself. All right, Susan, listen, I'm hanging up now, but just for a second. Call the real cops right now. Tell them what happened, and tell them I'm on my way and keeping an eye out. Give them the best description you can, just like you gave me. I hung up the phone, the call having lasted maybe 90 seconds. 90 seconds that had felt like an eternity, a lifetime compressed into terror. My heart was hammering against my ribs. Susan was physically okay, the door had held, and the intruder was gone. Now, I needed to get home, check on her myself, make sure she was truly safe, that the intruder wasn't just waiting nearby. I roared out of the Walmart parking lot, tires squealing slightly, my mind racing. I needed to get home, needed to see Susan was all right. As I sped down the road, the one leading directly from Walmart back towards our neighborhood, my eyes were scanning everything, automatically, looking for anyone who might match a description, though the only one I had was guy on a bike. Susan had mentioned a bike. Someone leaving on a bike, heading down the street away from our house. And then, about a minute down the road, maybe halfway home, I saw him. A guy on a bicycle, riding away from the direction of my house, heading straight towards where I had just left Walmart. He was wearing a dark hoodie, pulled up, even though it was a relatively warm day. He was pedaling fast, hunched low over the handlebars, clearly in a hurry. He looked furtive. A cold, certain jolt went through me. Was that him? Could it possibly be? The timing was exactly right, leaving my house moments after Susan's call. Heading down the only road that led away from that side of the neighborhood towards the commercial area where Walmart was located. My gut screamed yes, with absolute certainty. This was the same guy who had just been trying to kick down my back door with my injured wife inside. Adrenaline, pure and unadulterated, flooded my system, overriding everything caution, common sense, fear. My protective instincts for Susan, already on high alert and heightened by her vulnerability, took over completely. He was getting away. He had just terrified my wife, tried to smash his way into my home, into her sanctuary, and he was right there, on a bicycle, oblivious that the husband of his intended victim was heading directly towards him. Without a second thought, without calculating the risk, I swerved the car hard. It wasn't a gentle maneuver. It was sudden, aggressive, aimed at stopping him. I aimed the front corner of my car towards the bike's back wheel, not to hit him squarely and cause serious injury, but to clip him, knock him off balance, make him fall and stop him from getting away. Tires squealed in protest, the car leaning precariously. The guy on the bike looked up, his face contorted with surprise and sudden panic as my car veered directly towards him, a fast-moving obstacle where there should have just been traffic. I hit the bike, not hard enough to cause major damage to the car, but enough. There was a horrible clatter of metal on asphalt, a yelp of pain and surprise from the rider. He tumbled awkwardly off the bike, hitting the ground with a roll onto the grassy verge beside the sidewalk, scrambling immediately to get back to his feet. I slammed on my brakes, the car skidding slightly to a stop, blocking part of the road. I threw open the driver's side door and got out, my heart hammering like a drum against my ribs, my breath coming in huge, ragged gasps. The guy was already trying to run, staggering away from his downed bike, looking back at me with terror in his eyes. "Hey!" I roared, louder than I thought I was capable of, my voice thick with adrenaline and fury. "Stop! Police! Stay right there!" He didn't stop. He sprinted away down the sidewalk. Despite the adrenaline coursing through me, I'm not exactly built for speed. Well, as I self-deprecatingly told the cops later when describing the incident, I've got a fat ass. Not exactly built for chasing down fleeing suspects over long distances. But he was on foot now, and I was fueled by fury and protective instinct. I ran after him, surprisingly fast considering my build, fueled by sheer adrenaline. I yelled again, hoping to make him think I was a real cop, hoping someone else nearby would see what was happening. Maybe it was the surprise of being intercepted. Maybe he wasn't expecting anyone to be coming from this direction. Maybe he just wasn't a great runner. Whatever the reason, I gained on him quickly. After a short, clumsy chase of maybe 50 yards, across a couple of lawns bordering the sidewalk, I lunged. I tackled him. It wasn't a graceful rugby tackle. It was more like a startled bear falling on a smaller, faster animal. We went down in a heap on someone's neatly manicured lawn, rolling slightly. I managed to land mostly on top of him, using my weight to pin him down, getting an arm around his chest and pinning his arms. He struggled violently beneath me, squirming, twisting, trying desperately to push me off. He was thinner than me, but wiry and powered by desperation and panic. "Get off me!" he grunted, his face twisted with anger and fear, dirt smudging his cheek. "You just tried to break into my house," I roared back, sitting heavily on his chest, pinning his arms down against the grass. My breath was coming in huge, ragged gasps, my lungs burning. My fat ass was proving surprisingly effective at immobilization, a solid, unexpected anchor. He struggled harder, bucking and twisting, his body tensing. For a terrifying second, I thought he might actually manage to get free. "Stop struggling," I yelled, trying to keep my weight centered on him, pressing down. I could feel him reaching, his hand fumbling inside his hoodie pocket, searching for something. My mind flashed back to Susan's terrified voice on the phone, the sound of the splintering wood, the chilling realization that he was trying to force his way in. What if he had a weapon? "He's got something," I yelled out into the seemingly empty street, hoping against hope that someone had seen the car swerve, the chase, the tackle, and had already called the police, or that the real cops Susan was calling were already on their way. He stopped struggling suddenly, momentarily freezing. His hand had found what he was reaching for. He started to pull it out of his pocket. It was a gun. A small, dark handgun, ugly and menacing in his hand. My blood froze for the second, even more terrifying time that day. He had a gun. He had tried to break into my house with a gun, and now he had it out, inches from my face, from where I was pinning him down. But before he could even fully raise it, before my frozen brain could process the immediate, deadly danger I was in, he hesitated. His eyes flicked past me, down the street in the direction of Walmart. Then, with a yelp of frustration or defeat, he threw the gun away, shoving it awkwardly across the lawn. Okay, stop!" he gasped, stopping his violent struggle. "The cops are coming. I see them." He must have seen a patrol car in the distance, its lights not yet flashing, but recognizable to someone in his situation. His brief window of opportunity, his moment of desperate resistance, had slammed shut just as quickly as it had opened. I stayed put, perched on his chest, panting, my arms still pinning his, my weight holding him down. The initial surge of adrenaline was starting to recede, replaced by a shaking, bone-deep realization of just how close that moment had been. The gun, inches away. Within minutes, police cruisers, lights flashing, screeched to a halt on the street. Officers spilled out, guns drawn, quickly assessing the chaotic scene my car angled awkwardly in the road, the downed bicycle on the sidewalk, me sitting on a guy on someone's neatly manicured lawn. "He tried to break into my house," I yelled again, my voice hoarse from yelling and panting. "Just now. My wife's inside. She's hurt. He's the guy." They quickly secured the scene, cautiously approaching, cuffing the suspect and checking on me. I was shaky, covered in grass stains and dirt, but thankfully unharmed. They retrieved the gun from where he'd thrown it on the lawn. Then they checked his bike, his pockets, his small backpack. What they found sent another wave of chills down my spine, making the reality of what had been narrowly averted sink in fully. Besides the handgun, he had a length of sturdy rope, a roll of duct tape, gloves, and a set of professional-looking lock-picking tools. Rope, duct tape, lock tools, a gun. This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment opportunist trying a door handle. He came prepared. He intended to gain entry, and his tools suggested a willingness to restrain or incapacitate. It could have been so much worse for Susan. Her quick thinking, yelling her bluff through the door, had likely saved her from facing a potentially violent intruder with chillingly prepared intentions. The police confirmed his identity. He had a record consistent with burglary and related offenses. They took my statement and later Susan's. They thanked me, told me I was incredibly lucky he ran, and then gave up. That confronting someone potentially armed was extraordinarily dangerous and ill-advised. I knew that. The adrenaline had just bypassed my common sense and self-preservation instincts in the face of protecting Susan. Later that day, back home, holding Susan tightly on the sofa, looking at the bent and splintered frame of our back door, the full, terrifying weight of the afternoon crashed down on us both. The sheer, improbable luck of it all. The intruder running away from our house, and instead of vanishing into the grid of quiet neighborhood streets, choosing the one main road I was guaranteed to be on, heading directly towards me. My impulsive decision to intercept, which could have gone horribly wrong, him having a gun, pulling it out, but the police sirens arriving at that precise moment, making him toss the weapon away instead of using it. It could have been a tragedy of unspeakable proportions. Susan, hurt and helpless. Me, arriving too late, or getting hurt myself in a foolish confrontation. It was, instead, a story of quick thinking under pressure, unexpected courage from an ordinary man, and a remarkable, terrifying alignment of chance, a twist of fate that defies logical explanation. The universe, for whatever reason, had placed me exactly where I needed to be, when I needed to be there, to intercept a danger I didn't even know was imminent until moments before. It makes you think about fate, about coincidence, about the unseen forces that sometimes nudge the chaotic performance of life in one direction instead of another. Reflecting on it now, from the quiet safety of years past, that day stands as a stark reminder of vulnerability, especially as we age and perhaps face physical limitations, but also of unexpected resilience and protection. It highlighted Susan's incredible presence of mind under terrifying pressure, her fierce will to protect herself even when physically unable, and it showed me that when push comes to shove, when someone you love is in danger, instincts you didn't know you possessed can take over, driving you to do things you never thought possible. It changed how we view our home, our safety, and the unpredictable nature of the world outside our door. It's a vivid example of how quickly life can turn, and how moments of extraordinary danger can reveal unexpected strengths in ordinary people and lead to unbelievable, fortunate outcomes. It underscores the theme that life's performance is full of unplanned scenes, and sometimes the most pivotal moments are the ones where we are called to play a part we never rehearsed, revealing the true script of courage and chance. What an intense and harrowing story, culminating in such a dramatic and fortunate outcome. Moments like these truly highlight the unpredictable nature of life and the bravery that can emerge when we least expect it, often from the most unexpected sources. What do you think about this incredible close call? What went through your mind as Frank was describing intercepting the intruder? Have you or someone you know faced a sudden, dangerous situation where unexpected courage or luck played a key role, especially concerning home safety or vulnerability? Share your thoughts and your own experiences in the comments section below. We learn so much from hearing about your lives and building this community of shared narratives, especially concerning the challenges and moments of strength we encounter throughout life, including in our golden years. If this story resonated with you, if it kept you on the edge of your seat, or if it made you reflect on the fragility of safety and the power of quick thinking and unexpected action, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us understand what kinds of compelling stories you want to see more of. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future explorations into the captivating, sometimes startling, always compelling tapestry of life's grand performance. Before you go, take a moment to explore our other videos right here. We have a wealth of other tales waiting to be discovered, stories that bring to life the beauty, chaos, and mystery of our shared human experience. filled with funny, tragic, heartwarming, and unexpected turns, often highlighting the unique perspectives and resilience found in seniors and those approaching their golden years. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep looking for the extraordinary in the ordinary.